Ladies and gentlemen, y'all know this was coming. Y'all knew this was coming. In terms of what this video is about, y'all knew this was coming. But before we get to that, I just want to let you guys know that I just dropped a new single on my other YouTube channel, which is strictly called True Inferno. So the single is called Savage, and let me explain something to you real quick. So for those of you who don't know, yes, I do make music, and I do make beat albums. I do release beat albums. I normally drop 2 to 3 beat albums per year. And the first one of the year is coming out on May the 30th. It's called Dream Beats 2. So yes, that means there is a Dream Beats out there. I dropped that one a number of years ago. So that one is available at trueinferno.bandcamp.com. But Dream Beats 2 will not only be available over there at trueinferno.bandcamp.com, but it will also be on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Google Music, basically wherever all online music retailers and all available online music streaming services. So this album will be available on those platforms. Now, at the same time, I'm dropping another album. Although it would be the same as the beat album, the only thing is I grabbed Lil Tecca's lyrics and dropped them on those beats. And that one is just simply called Dream Beats 2 featuring Lil Tecca. That one will only be available at my True Inferno YouTube channel. I'm not selling that one or anything like that because it contains lyrics that don't belong to me. So I'm not selling that. But if you want to download that album and listen to it at your own leisure, you can just hit me up when the album drops on the 30th. So it could be on that video when I drop the album. It could be anywhere on social media and say, hey, I want a copy of the album featuring Tecca, and I will hit you up with a download link so you can get that album. So yeah, I just dropped the single from that version of the album called Savage, and this is one of the best things I had ever created musically. That is really dope track. I really like it. I played it already on the Purple website, so which is why you need to hit up the Purple website, because I be dropping music first over there before I drop it anywhere else. So yeah, y'all need to go over there and check that out. So Savage is dope, really dope with them Tecca lyrics on there. So there you go with that. Now with all that out the way, let's get on to the meat of this video, because we got some talking to do. Let's go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. It's the boy True Inferno. Today's date is now Friday, March the 21st. Y'all see what I did there? 3, 2, 1. March the 21st. So there you go. Okay, what am I talking about? The long awaited topic that I kind of held off for a while, but now it's here. Scopely purchasing Pokemon Go. So let's be more specific here, shall we? So they did more than just that. They actually purchased the entire Niantic game department. So the following games and I guess platforms, if we can call that, will be making their way over to Scopely. So obviously we got Pokemon Go, but they also got Pikmin. They also got Monster Hunter Go. They also got Campfire, and they got Wayfarer. So the only thing they did not get is Ingress. Ingress will be a part of a new Niantic department. Niantic, I think called Niantic Spatial Department. So Ingress will be over there. When I first heard about the rumor, I will be honest, I was like, Scopely? What the heck is Scopely? So, and I was nervous. I was nervous, but for a completely different reason than all of you. Now, the reason why I was nervous, I can't necessarily say, but let's just say it involves some departments within Niantic. That's all I'm gonna say. So, after doing more research on Scopely, Scopely doesn't necessarily have the best reputation, but while I was looking at Rye, I was like, you know, that sounds familiar. What did that sound like? The fact that their communities are complaining about Scopely. What does that sound like? Oh, I know. It sounds like some of you guys complaining about Pokemon Go to Niantic. So it's virtually the same. It's virtually the same, meaning all the negative feedback that you be hearing about Scopely in terms of like how they treat the games or how they treat their players, stuff like that, more or less is the same. Now there are some differences. So for example, one of the things that Scopely is known to do is put a bunch of ads in their games. So a lot of people were concerned about that. A lot of people were concerned about, you know, they may jack up the prices with microtransactions because, and then this gonna be explained later on in the video, while Niantic is more of an AR company that was into gaming, Scopely is a gaming company. So there's that. So when I first heard about the news, this was before the deal was done. This was just a rumor at this point, and I did not talk about it. I was a little bit nervous about it, more so about the departments, But in terms of the status of the game, whether it would be made worse under Scopely and stuff like that, there was a little bit of concern there, but I wasn't exactly losing sleep over it, to say the least. Then the deal happened, and here's the thing about that. So when the deal happened, me and a few of the content creators, we were hit up, and we were given the opportunity to talk to some Niantic personnel, or let's be specific, members of the Pokemon Go team. So you're probably wondering, wait, wasn't that the same as Niantic? No, it's not the same. It's not the same. I will explain later on in this video. So we were hit up by members of the Pokemon Go team and say, hey, if y'all got questions about this change, anything like that, we're gonna hold a meeting and you can all ask your questions and things of that nature. So there was actually 2 of these meetings. The first one was, I think it was like at 2 o'clock. This was a week ago. But the problem was, for those in the APAC region, so we talking New Zealand, Australia, and Japan, it was like 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, so they were all asleep. So they missed out on the first meeting. So that led us to the second meeting that happened this past Wednesday, and that was like at 7:30 p.m. my time, but it was like 8:39, 8 o'clock a.m. over there. So they were able to attend. So that's all cool. Based on what I took from the meeting, here's what I learned about the whole situation. So basically, here's some, based off the questions that was asked and some of the things that they said. So check this out. The main ideas of exploration with Pokemon Go and other games that they're getting will remain the same. So there you go with that. Nothing is changing in the short term. Now you're probably wondering, wait a minute, that's the short term. What about the long term? I mean, the term long term, I'll be honest, is vague, because long term could be a year from now, long term could be 5 years from now, long term could be 10 years from now. So obviously no one knows what's going to happen beyond, like a few months, whatever the case may be. So that's why I say in the short terms, because the long terms, they may change their minds, they may stay the same. We don't know. Not even they don't even know. So that's why I say just in the short term. So there's that. When Scopely employees and representatives heard about the deal being done, it's not finalized yet, by the way. It's just done, but it's not closed yet. Yeah, they had their own little conference call and they were all excited about the deal. So that's what's up. Okay, that's cool. Scopely, and then this is an interesting one. Some of you may not believe this one, but yo, this is what we were told. Scopely does not want to be the ones to make the decisions regarding Pokemon Go and wants to leave that to the Pokemon Go team. So you're probably wondering, wait, what? Are you serious? I'm like, yeah. And now that I think about it, based on what I was told, based on how things were done under Niantic, it makes sense. Because here's what I was told. Again, I'm not going to name this source or anything like that, but I was told that even John Hanke, the CEO of Niantic, sometimes even John Hanke don't know what's been going on with Pokemon Go. This was before, obviously, it was sold to Scopely. So, like with some of the decisions that were made, with some of the in-game events and all that stuff, even John Hanke had no clue what was going on with Pokemon Go. And when I thought about that comment in combination with this, what I just told you guys, it makes sense. So it's a team within Niantic, the Pokemon Go team, that pretty much makes all the decisions alongside with the Pokemon Company and Gamefreak and maybe even Nintendo, which I've been telling you guys for years, that makes the decisions when it comes to Pokemon Go. So essentially, Niantic as a whole doesn't really have much say when it comes to how things are going with Pokemon Go. That was just the Pokemon Go team that just so happens to be working under Niantic. That's pretty much it. So that's going to remain the same under Scopely. So Scopely won't be making any decisions regarding Pokemon Go. It will just be left up to the Pokemon Go team and of course the usual, the Pokemon Company, Gamefreak, and Nintendo. Speaking of the Pokemon Company, yes, they were involved in the deal being made when it came to, Scopely buying Pokemon Go. And on that note, Capcom was also involved in the deal. They okayed the deal rather, because Monster Hunter is a Capcom property and Pikmin is a Nintendo property, so of course Nintendo got involved and they okayed the deal as well. So in case y'all wondering about those other games, yeah, so they were all okayed by Capcom, Nintendo, and the Pokemon Company. So there you go with that. The AR aspect of the game will remain the same. This one is also a little bit shocking because while AR is more of a Niantic thing, because Niantic wants to focus more on AR, but there are AR aspects within Pokemon Go, so that will remain in there. So yeah, there is a little bit like a collab that will be at work between Scopely and Niantic regarding the AR aspects of Pokemon Go. And this one has been said multiple times. It was said in the meeting, It was said in the video featuring trainer tips, which I'll talk about in a second, and that is this: there will not be a bunch of ads that's going to be put in the game. There will not be any pop-up ads or anything like that, and there will not be pressure by Scopely to do anything like that or to make any drastic changes. So again, all, if not the majority of the decisions making regarding the game, Pokemon Go that is, will be made by the Pokemon Go team. Again, the Pokemon Company, Gamefreak, and possibly Nintendo will have their say, will have their input regarding the decisions that are being made regarding Pokemon Go, because, I mean, they have to. I mean, it's their property. Pokemon is their property. So you can't do anything to the Pokemon without their consent. So, there's that. Okay, so with all that said, then we need to talk about the training tips video. Now, I'm not going to cover it because that's a 53-minute long video. But if you want to see that video yourself, the link to it will be in the description box below. And I highly advise you to check out that video. And in the video rather, Training Tip did interview one of the high-ranking officials, Michael, who is a part of the Pokemon Go team. So in case you're wondering, yes, the members of the Pokemon Go team will be making their way from Niantic over to Scopely. So yeah, that will be happening as well. And they talked about a lot of things. So one of the things they talked about was the remote rate limit. Where we see that go, Ray? And again, I talked about this to a degree, but I couldn't go deep into it. But what I will say to that is this: it's not going away. The remote rate limit thing is not going away, because again, that was a decision that was made beyond Niantic's control. So Scopely will be in the same boat as Niantic when it comes to the remote rate limit. It will be a decision beyond Scopely's control. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I know more about it, but you know, I ain't gonna talk about it as much. But at the same time, if you do your research and know where to look, rather, it's not that hard to figure out. It's really not that hard to figure out. So, nevertheless, the remote rate limit will remain the same, despite what some others, other content creators may hope for, or whatever the case may be. No, the remote rate limit will remain the same. So, don't get your hopes up when it comes to that. And obviously, they talked about other stuff, but again, I highly advise you to check that video out. Another thing that was talked about in the Training Tips video when he interviewed Mike was the whole data situation in terms of local data and your personal data, because Niantic has been trying to get local data like crazy. So that was covered in the video. If you want to see what was said regarding that and every other question that Nick asked Michael, check out that video. Link to that will be in the description box below. So with all the information now out there and presented to me and to you guys, what do I think about this move? Well, I'll be honest, I'm taking a more selfish approach here, because I want, and this is just a theory, but I believe there's now more opportunities for greater things involving content creators. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Because what I would say this, back in 2022, there was a impromptu event. If y'all remember the Ultra Beats fiasco that happened, I think it was in London. There was one that happened in Europe. I think it was London over there, but there was one in Hollywood. And the content creators, we was invited to take part in those. And of course, I went to the one out in Hollywood. And I had a blast out there. It was great. It was phenomenal. So, and that was the last time we seen anything like that. Obviously, we had the likes of the Route Area event, Go Fest, Go Tour, City Safari, Safari Zones. But for impromptu events like that, that was the last time we seen anything like that. So, hopefully, with the resources that Scopely have, because Scopely is a company under another company that is based in Saudi Arabia, and let me let you guys know, Saudi Arabia got money. Saudi Arabia got money. If you don't believe me, ask WWE. Saudi Arabia got money. So, even though it's a long shot, it's possible that some of that money could make its way over to the Pokemon Go team, and they could make more of those events happen again. And in fact, they could make more events happen in Saudi Arabia. They did do one last year, believe it or not. If y'all don't know, they did do one last year. So there could be a scenario where there could be more events like that, and that could give more of us opportunity to go to these events. So again, selfish theory that I have. So yeah, that's a possibility right there. And in terms of the gameplay and any stuff like that, I don't expect much to change. I don't think anything will change, or anything significant will change, or anything drastic will happen in regards to Pokemon Go. I think it will remain the same. Now, what I will say is this though: there has been a lot of events that have been overlapping with each other, so we're gonna get another weekend like that. Well, actually, no, we won't. We won't, which is a shocker for this month. So obviously, this Saturday will be the Total Dollar Community Day Classic, and then Sunday it'll be the Mega Apps or Raid Day event. So both of those two events, although they won't be happening at the same time, but we are getting two events happening during the same weekend, which is normally not the case. Normally we'll get one event happening on a Saturday or a Sunday, while the other weekend day, wherever that may be, is nothing. So for example, the last weekend of the month of March, there's an event happening on Saturday, March the 29th. I forgot what it's called. I forgot what it is. But there is an event happening on March the 29th. But on the 30th, which is Sunday, there's nothing. Nothing's happening on that day. So we're not seeing a lot of moments like that nowadays. I think that is going to continue. And I don't know how I feel about that. Because what that would means is when there's more events, more in-game events rather, that means there's more tickets. Time recess tickets that would cost $2, that would cost $5, whatever the case may be. There's gonna be a bunch more of those. And now we have to get to the point where we like, yo, we have to really think about this. Are these tickets really worth it? Not all, not most, not some. You know, we have to, you know, pick and choose. Which ones are really worth these $2? Which ones are really worth this $5 and stuff like that? Whether you used to take part in buying the ticket or pass on it. You know, we really need to start asking that question now, because again, if they're gonna be piling up events like this on the weekend and also during the week as well, then we have to be asking those questions, because at the end of the day, yeah, the free items that comes with it, or the items that come with the tickets are cool, whatever, but we can get those anytime in terms of spending Pokestops or with another ticket from another event where the ticket is more worth your while. And then in terms of the spawns possibilities, it's like, and in terms of the collection challenges, it's like, yeah, it's cool to get a bunch of those completed, but at the end of the day, what's the end game for that? What's the end game for the collection challenges in terms of doing as many of them as you can? If you reach a certain amount, will you be rewarded with something? And the answer is no. So you gotta ask yourself the question: are doing these collection challenges really worth it? Are these extra spawns really worth it? You know, you gotta ask yourself those questions when it comes to all these time recess tickets, because again, more and more are starting to pile up now, and we've been seeing a lot of that in the past few weeks, especially this month, and I think we're going to see that to continue. So outside of that though, I don't expect much to change regarding the game. I actually believe that there will be absolutely positively nothing to worry about within the game. So overall, in terms of the future of the game, I had no problem with it. I think it's going to be fine. I truly believe that Scopely would not mess this up at all. And at the same time, I'm not sure if they're going to make it better. They may make it a little bit better, but at the most, it's just going to be a little bit better. But nothing significant is going to happen to the game, in my honest opinion. I'm just hoping for other stuff to happen that doesn't involve the game, but we'll see what happens over the next few weeks. Well, really a few months, actually. So there you go with that. Now, I'm going to call it a wrap because I'm tired. If you wish to spawn the video, leave in the comment section below. Scopely. If you wish to spawn the video, leave in the comment section below Scopely. And at the very end, you should see two cards. One of them will be something that YouTube recommends, while the other one will be the last video that I put out, which was me talking about Mega Ardino coming into the game. So make sure to check that out. I'm gonna call it a wrap now. So with all that said, y'all know who this is. This is boy New Jack Aspie, aka New Stimulate Smip, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah. Subscribe. Thanks, man. Do it. After you subscribe to the channel, make sure you click the bell icon so you never miss a new video or a live stream ever again. Thanks, guys.
Lewis the trainer, articulating pain. With my tongue, I done things that people said I can't. Now they rank 'em with the elite, but it's for the people, and victory is part of defeat. Cause when you get back on your feet, then you try again. Learn from mistakes, show 'em that I got what it takes, and I'm dying to win. I'ma hit and move away.